Okay. Congratulations on the movie. It's one of those movies you didn't really know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
And it feels like a rarity. I mean, I can only imagine what it was like reading the script. Do you usually get scripts that are such page turners like this one?
I mean, I don't know. It was a very special script to get. And also kind of shocking. Before I knew, because I didn't know Patrick beforehand, so I was a little bit taken aback by what was going on. But once I talked to him, and it really felt like a good situation.
Good.
It was a script full of surprise. I felt like each page I was turning, it was like, oh, and then it was like, oh, it's like it's never stopping. It's like it was really funny. I never laugh out loud when I'm reading, but I actually did reading the script. It was really super funny, even just to read it.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, just watching the movie, you're just like, wow, okay, that's where this is going. So I can only imagine what that was like reading the script. But how much? I mean, it sounds like there was a lot of improvisation involved too. Was there anything you brought to this film that wasn't in the script?
I think there's a lot of improv in the script. It really, the bones of Patrick's words and certainly the structure of his story are totally there, but there's a lot of stuff that just is sort of tossed out throughout the whole film.
Right. And I imagine you had kind of a very short schedule to shoot this in. What was it like acting under such a short schedule?
Well, we were tired. I remember nights where I was like falling asleep because it was like 5 a.m. and we had to suddenly do a scene in which we needed a bit of energy. So I think it brought a lot of you can feel it in the movie. This kind of weird, like floating ambience that it's reality. We were in this mood. I mean, we weren't stoned or anything, but it's like, we shot all through the night, so.
Nice. And then, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, of course. The ending scene is probably the most shocking scene in the movie, just in terms of the sex scene that you didn't quite see coming. And it's kind of like the sex scene that Kevin Smith hinted at in Chasing Amy, and I was just curious.
Interesting.
And I was just curious, what was it like? What was it like filming that or going up to that?
It's funny. Adam was talking about, that the first he was watching. They were trying to put together a gag reel, and watching the first take of that scene. I guess we were all just giggling throughout the entire way through, but we kept shooting it. So we shot the entire scene, but I think we were all like laughing because I think Patrick probably thought we could salvage it at some point, but we didn't. So I think that was sort of the ethos on set. That was sort of the experience. It was sort of like much anticipated, but then when it got there, it just, and I think it's lovely the way that it plays out in the film. It's so not judgmental.
I think it's very gracious. When I watch that scene, and this is a comedy, when I see that scene, I'm like, this is really gracious. This is great cinema. This is a great, love scene. It's really beautiful. It's beautifully shot, and it's not funny. And I mean, it's funny, but what I love in this movie is that sometimes in the audience, when you watch it with people, it's just suddenly, super quiet. Like people are laughing out loud, but when it's emotional, their attention is completely, there. And I love that about the film.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in the script it probably looked a little, maybe it probably looked lewd in the script, but in the film, yeah, it's shot quite well.
Yeah.
It's very well.
Yeah, it's very well shot for a film shot in 11 nights. It's very well done.
It is beautiful, Internet.
Yeah.
It's scary. Reading it on the page, you could have gone, imagining it could have gone so many different ways.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be quite terrifying. But yeah, no, this is a wonderful movie. I really enjoyed it because you don't know where it's going, and it's very rare to get a movie like that these days. So congratulations.
So cool. Thank you.
You bet. No.